Hey guys, hope you're well and keeping warm in this cold Nairobi weather. I'm happy to be back on YouTube. It's been a while. I took a break because I wasn't feeling well, and I'm back with Psych and a very interesting topic on how I had to change my parenting style with my children, because trust me, I have had to unlearn, learn, relearn. It's been a journey and a half. There's so many things that during my time, let's say in the 90s, there's a style that my parents used to parent, and that's what I was used to. And then meeting my children, and they were small kids, and now they are young adults and teenagers. I've had to really adjust. Again, like I said, learn and unlearn, make mistakes, and just try to understand the new generation. I always feel like things change up so fast. So I'll just start with the different areas of parenting that I've had to adjust, to change. I don't know if I call this parenting 101, or for any mom out there who has a child between the age of 10 and going to young preteens. This video is for you. Be prepared. We are dealing with a very different generation, but again, I always say there's nothing new under the sun, and so I had to change my thinking a lot. So I'm going to be talking about different aspects of my parenting that has had to change. Number one is in terms of disciplining. During our time, there was no anyone talking to you or asking you or explaining to you, you did this, sit down, these are the consequences, this way I'm beating you. It was just your mom looks at you or your dad with that, just looks at you like this, and you know I am dead. So we used to be, a way of punishment was beating, whipping. I think, let's just be honest, beating. To be honest, I got a lot of it. I was a very naughty, cheeky child. But nowadays, parents are giving time out. Let's be honest. I still do a bit of spanking here and there sometimes, but nowadays you can't do it as much. It cannot be every mistake, you beat the child. So nowadays, sometimes you have to sit the child down and explain to them. You're like, hi Sean, this is what you did. The consequences are 1, 2, 3. Maybe you're not watching TV for the next 2 days. Or maybe we are taking away your PS, or what else? You're not going to visit your friend. You're not going for a sleepover. So it's more about explaining to the child what they did wrong, why it is wrong, and the consequences. Trust me, during my time, our parents had no time for such things. I remember there are many times I was beaten for my brother or siblings' mistakes, because my parents would come, my mom or dad, and you are all lined up and beaten. Like, all of you are beaten. They want to know who did what. And so I'm not saying it was wrong. I'm not blaming them, because that's how things worked then. And to be honest, we learned a lot, and the learning was faster, because it didn't like the pain. But I've had to adjust nowadays in terms of parenting, and especially for young adults. The style of just shouting and screaming and not understanding, those ones have been a big challenge. So you're shouting and you have a bad day, and sometimes, especially the girls, they're like, Mom, why are you shouting? I also have a bad day. Like, can you talk quietly? And it's been a challenge, but I'm learning to treat them like the adults they are, and to sometimes remember that they're also going through life. They're also going through their own things. So sometimes it's important, if I'm not in that good mood, or I can't have a decent conversation, I better postpone it to another day. I do not succeed all the time, I'll tell you. I'm not the calmest person, but I try. Sometimes the kids challenge you and you have to adjust. So I've really had to adjust in terms of disciplining. Second thing that I've had to adjust, it's in terms of education and career. During my time, parents wanted their kids to be doctors and teachers and surgeons and lawyers. I remember for me, my first degree was biochemistry and molecular biology. My mom picked it out for me because I was good at sciences and I was good at math. I personally had no idea what I wanted to do. I wasn't that kid who was very decided. I also wasn't very exposed to know the options I had. So she went to campus and picked a course for me. I don't regret it, because I learned something. But we live in a time where our kids, you have to give them that freedom to decide what they want to do. With my young adults right now, some have finished their first degree. I didn't, some of their courses, like sometimes someone asks me, what is your child doing in school? I just know the first one, because they're at a stage where they know what they want in life. It's up to them. So they say, I want to study this, for example, I want to study acting and music. So I've allowed them to pick whatever they like doing. My only requirement is you finish what you start. I know that sometimes you face a child who starts and they're like, after 1 year, I don't like this, it's not for me, and they change courses. That's the luxury of kids of nowadays. During my time, you stick with it, yeah? So sometimes I might listen and I might be like, okay, fine. But if you pick this second course, you better finish, because again, we don't have all the resources in the world, and there's your sibling who's waiting for you afterward. So allowing children to do what they want to do, to just ensure that they start or they finish, they stick to it, because there's no course that is easy. There's nothing that is easy, but just allowing them choose what they want to do. Career-wise, nowadays we have different careers. I'm here on YouTube. Would I call myself digital marketing influencer? I don't know if that's a word. I'm an image consultant. So it's not the conventional kind of career, the conventional kind of jobs that people do have. Nowadays we have makeup artists, DJs, we have TikTok experts. I watch my son on YouTube watching roadblocks. There are many people who are making money through that. We have many influencers all over the world making money. We have dancers, acting, all those other careers. And nowadays, as a parent, you just have to allow your child to pick what they enjoy doing and be comfortable with it. Sometimes even I don't understand what some of my children study. I wouldn't lie to you. I just want to know the grade. Do we have a certain GPA? Then we are good to go. Third aspect of parenting that I've had to adjust is dating. Let's agree, children are starting to date earlier than our time. When I was growing up, there was nothing like dating. How would I tell my mom that I have a boyfriend? You wait until you get married, people. So you only bring that guy that you're sure you're marrying to your parents' house. But nowadays with my young adults, I've created a space where they're free to tell me if you're getting serious with someone. Not every guy you'll date you'll marry at the end of the day, people. So not every person you go on a date to has to end up being a boyfriend or end up being a husband or end up being a wife. So we have that free space. If you're serious with someone, they can come home. For me, my only rule is we do not go past the stairs. We don't go upstairs. We don't go to the bedroom. It has to be a place where there are other people, not necessarily sitting there with you, but people are passing. It's not anything past the sitting room. You're allowed. You inform me ahead of time. Ensure that whatever you're doing is proper, because we have other younger children and they're watching you and observing you. But yeah, dating is there. We allow them to go on dates. We do fund the dates. We do not have an option nowadays. We fund the dates, so we have to have a budget for the date. Oh, also nowadays we date. Our kids date. Nitasema nini? Hey, mmetua squeeze. Let me correct. Hey, wow. Our kids' relationship nowadays are defined very differently. They date. I'm looking for the correct political right word, so that this year people don't come for me, different kinds of relationships. So they date people from different ethnic backgrounds, interracial dating. Not necessarily do we have our children having to tick the boxes like us, finish campus, get a job, get married by 25, get a child, move into a house. Like, that journey is not linear, and they all have different journeys. As parents, we have to respect it. Some of our children don't want to have children of their own. Some of them prefer maybe to marry later or get into serious relationships later. Others prefer to live out of the country. Like, the ideas of happiness in terms of dating is very different, and as parents, all we can do is support them and try to lead them in the right direction. So in terms of dating, I have had to adjust a lot. Something else is very key is focusing on mental health. During my time, to be honest, no one really asked you, how do you feel? Like, you have food in your tummy, you have money to go to school, you have school fees, you are alive, you're not sick. What else? So nowadays I've become more aware about mental health. The 360 way of looking at health is not only physical, it's not just providing food and good education. We need to sit down with our children, ask them how they are feeling. Are they mentally happy? Are they in a good place mentally? We also nowadays have to understand the different challenges they face because of the different pressures. Life is full of pressure. Life is fast-paced compared to us. Changes every day. They have a lot of exposure to social media. Some of them study out of the country. We have they consume a lot of TV, YouTube. So their world is not like ours. So we have to appreciate that they do face these challenges. I think our time it was there, but who gave you a chance to say, oh, today I don't feel like waking up? It's like, move. So nowadays we understand all those mental health challenges that is facing our youth, that is facing our young people, and realizing that it's a disease like any other disease. Symptoms nowadays, a child doesn't tell you, oh, I've been feeling sad for the last 3 months continuously. They're not eating, they're not talking to their friends, and you just brush it off like, stop being dramatic. Or we have been able to be more serious about it, be keen, seek the help of professional, even be open to pay for therapy and to be committed to it. Therapy is not cheap, but you pay for it because you realize that without that, then I'm not raising a complete human being or a child who's happy. So it's just about getting grades, it's just about growing, but also I want them to be happy in terms of their schoolwork, mentally, in terms of their friend. So I want a child who's well balanced. So I think for me as a parent, I've really had to come a long way in terms of that mental health appreciation, the challenges that our young people are facing, and to take them seriously, and to sometimes put myself in their shoes, in their world, although it's not easy, but I've really tried. I've really tried. So any parent out there who's a parent of a teenager or a young adult, it would be really nice to hear experiences in terms of that, in terms of anything I'm talking about, so that I can also learn from you. Another thing is the relationship with money. When I was growing up, I didn't really have a relationship with money until I went to campus, because even in high school, our pocket money was given to the office or the teacher, and then would buy things from the tag and then it would be deducted. So I started having a relationship with money in campus, and that I really struggled with budgeting because I wasn't used to having money. Number two, also appreciating the value of money. Our kids nowadays have a relationship with money from the beginning. I think it's a very good idea. Start them on budgeting, understanding the value of money. Go with your child to supermarket, give them a list. Even when, like Sean's age, give them a list. Be like, this is the list, add it together, so that they start understanding the value of money. Also, number two, in terms of if you have children who are going to campus out of the country, it really helps to budget, because I'm sending your pocket money and you're the one to budget and control. It also helps them to think of other ways they can make little money here and there when they're still studying. I know many young people nowadays, they really challenge me. They have online businesses, they do things on the side because they understand the value of money. Even sometimes my young adults who are 20-something talk to me about, Mama, about investing in shares. I've saved this, can you add for me? And I do, because for a child who's come and saved half the money, why not support you? Because you're doing something positive. They're starting to think about wealth creation very early, starting to think about owning their first house, about saving for their first car. Also, they are thinking about traveling and saving to travel. I think it's very important, because travel teaches you a lot. You learn a lot, you're exposed, you learn very new things through travel, different cultures, different communities. It opens up your mind on what you want to do in life, the kind of partner you want to settle down with. So in terms of money, it has been a very big mind shift for me. Even supporting the children, for example, sometimes you have a child who's come back from university and they had their first job. It's not very well paying. Sometimes they move out and you have to support them until they can get a job that can sustain them. We've had to come through that way. And like us, we left our parents' house with the clothes and the books in our back. We went to start from mattresses and no spoons, which is not bad if you can, but if you can support your child, why not? They don't have to start from scratch. So I've really had to adjust my mindset. The last point for me is how the young people nowadays really care about their image, which was quite a shocker for me. They care about how they look, their clothes, their hair, what else. Sometimes for those who are financially able, the car they drive, and that was a shocker to me, because during our time when we went to campus, you were bought for clothes once, first year, first semester. After that, you figure out how you're going to be dressing, so you used to save your pocket money to buy yourselves clothes. The young people nowadays invest in how they look. Others even pay for image consultancy. I do have parents who bring their kids when they finish campus to do image consultancy because they're going to the job market. So it's quite a shocker. And also as a parent, you have to find that budget for your child, because you don't want them to stand out. You can't take your child to a school and then they're not dressing the part. You don't want them to be singled out and to be bullied. So it's something that I've had to consider, because during my time, school fees, food, the rest, meeting your friends, how you dress, figure that out. If you're going to budget and just eat ngumu and black tea so that you can save money for clothes, which is what I did, because I loved how I really cared about how I look, then that's up to you. So image for young people is very important, and parents understand when the young people tell you about how they look is important. Don't think it's just them being overreacting. That's just the world they live in. So it's up to you to come up with that budget. I usually come up with a budget for my kids in terms of your shopping for clothes for the year. Let's agree on a budget, to stick to the budget. Even it helps them to learn how to shop for themselves. So yeah, image matters for them. So hope guys you've enjoyed the video. For any parent who's outside there who can relate to what I'm talking about, who is preparing themselves, parents who their kids are still 7 and cute, and to prepare yourself, things are coming, they're on the way. And so this is just a video to alert you of how parenting has changed. I've really had to adjust, but then again, it's not all doom and gloom. You grow with them, you learn. Parenting has no manual. Enjoy those cute little kids. It's coming. Hope you can relate. If anyone has tips or something that they've been using with their young adults, with their teenagers, please share with me. And I know this topic can talk till tomorrow. There are so many other issues. Let's not even start sleepovers. When can they have phones, laptop? I say so much, guys. I'm the one who really at home deals with those kind of things, so I'm a bad cop. That's why I'm very passionate about it. But we have found the balance over the years. I hope you've learned something in this video. If you like it, share with your friends, comment below on as a parent who has worked, or even if you're a young adult, let me know, have your parent adjusted to modern times? Have they caught up, or you're still struggling? And remember to like, subscribe and share. Until next time, bye bye.